St. Louis is still one of America's most affordable major metros, and it's not just affordable for our everyday buyers anymore, it's getting national attention for the luxury side too. And in this video, I'll break down why St. Louis remains one of the most affordable major metros in the country, why we got ranked #1 nationally for luxury housing, and what the 2026 market actually looks like for buyers and sellers right now. St. Louis ranked #1 in Wall Street Journal and Realtor.com's 2025 luxury housing rankings, and what makes that so unique is that luxury here starts at $700,000. That is almost half of what it costs at other big cities. So here, your dollar stretches further if you plan on moving here. From a higher priced market, that explains the why St. Louis piece. What does the market actually feel like going into 2026? Is it getting easier to buy, or are the houses still flying off the shelf? On paper, the market is cooling. Redfin shows an average day on market from 16 days last year to 23 days today. And buyers are getting a little bit more breathing room, but only for the right properties. But here's the trap. When the home is a clean single family house in a strong school district and priced correctly, it can disappear fast. And by the way, if you plan on buying, selling, or relocating to St. Louis, whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, I help people do exactly that. So feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, and I would love to make your next move as smooth as possible. When people think affordable, they usually think cheap, but that's not what St. Louis is. What affordability really means is what your monthly payment buys you compared to other major metros. For a lot of people relocating from places like California, Arizona, or Illinois, where a lot of our clients are currently coming from, feel St. Louis is a total reset. The same monthly payment here often gets you more space, a single family home, and in a neighborhood that normally would be out of reach elsewhere. But here's the big stat that actually matters. The median home price in the St. Louis metro is about 40% less than the national average. That gap is why people are still moving here without stretching themselves thin. But here's where people get fooled by the numbers. Luxury doesn't mean just price, it means more space, location, lifestyle, and how livable the home actually is. Nationally, luxury real estate starts at 1.3 million. And in many markets, that still means smaller homes, smaller lots, older construction, and longer commutes just to be in the right zip code. In St. Louis, luxury starts at around $700,000. So instead of buyers compromising, they're normally upgrading. So that means larger lots, stronger school districts, more central location, and more realistic commutes. That difference matters. It's not cheaper luxury, it's more usable luxury. And that's exactly why St. Louis ranked #1 nationally. Luxury isn't driven by hype, it's driven by value and demand. Now let's talk leverage. The market has cooled down compared to COVID or the frenzy years, as most know, but it has not crashed. Now buyers today are getting a little bit more breathing room for inspections, on negotiating the prices, and less emotional bidding wars, especially if they're more flexible on location. But in the hottest pockets, the story is different. In areas like Chesterfield, well-priced single-family homes are still going pending in 9 to 15 days. So yes, the market is balancing, but demand has not disappeared. They're just becoming a little bit more selective. The biggest shock to buyers is this. Even with a little bit more breathing room overall, the inventory is still tight where people actually want to live. This is where I see buyers get tripped up. They see the market is slowing, then they wait, and then the house that they liked is gone. That's because the best listings with the clean homes, the strong locations, and being realistically priced still move fast. So the market can feel cooler and competitive at the same time. That's why having a plan matters more in 2026 than it did in the frenzy years. Price-wise, St. Louis is very segmented. The western suburbs still tend to command a more premium, not because they're overpriced, but because demand is consistent and inventory is low. The outer ring and more southern suburbs are more affordable, for those who are looking for their first house, more flexibility, and even more new construction options. This is where families can slow down, negotiate more confidently, and still stay below the national pricing. The key is matching your budget, lifestyle, and expectations, not just chasing the cheapest numbers. If you're relocating and want help narrowing down the prices, schools, or neighborhoods before you even tour, reach out. That upfront clarity clears a lot of stress in the long run. And don't forget to check out the next video, one of St. Louis's hottest markets on Chesterfield, Missouri. And again, whether you're making that move in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text. I would love to make your next move as smooth as possible. With all that being said, I hope to see you around town.